Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law with attorney Larry Foreman. That's me. Today we are going to be talking about more Karen Read. Today we're going to cover the interviews of Karen Read's father and her brother, her dad, who met me in the courthouse and said that he watches my show and made my day by saying how much he loved it. I was not expecting that when I went to the trial last month, about a month ago. That was fantastic. But today, in the process of hoping to receive sometime soon the motion to dismiss that we all know has been filed. The plaintiffs' attorneys are going to respond to it, so be on the lookout for that. That is going to be coming up over the next few weeks here on my channel. We are going to be covering it. But in the meantime, let's cover the interview, shall we? Let's see what Karen Read's dad and her brother had to say about the case.
You've had the day, right? A little bit of time to maybe have some celebrations yesterday. How are we feeling right now?
Relieved. First and foremost, proud, Karen. Proud of this legal team, proud of my parents.
Still numb after living 3.5 years of this nightmare, this terror, this fright, up against this power of the state and its unlimited resources to come after you. It's a nightmare. It's been hell, as I've said on many, many occasions. And right now, to have it over, it seems surreal. No, we were up till 2:30, 3 o'clock at the seaport. We're tired, we're numb, but we're so grateful. We're so blessed to Almighty God that, we have this outcome.
I mean, how else are you supposed to feel after watching your daughter being dragged through the mud for 3.5 years with a false prosecution, with false facts, bad investigation with corrupt individuals, and now a corrupt judge to add into the mix with a corrupt prosecutor who hires another corrupt prosecutor who gets paid $566,000 to prosecute this case, more than double what we originally anticipated. We thought he was getting paid like $250,000. There was no cap. He was just racking up hours, probably trying to get compensation for the humiliation he suffered from the Whitey Bulger case. So how do you just move on like nothing happened? It's not easy. It's not easy at all.
When you're sitting or standing maybe in the courtroom, waiting for that outcome, what's going through your mind? Can you kind of walk me through your internal thoughts there?
Well, it's something I would not wish on anyone who has a loved one, whether it be a significant other or a child. The child can be 45, as in Karen's case, or it can be 15 or whatever it may be. I mean, so many days. You think of the first trial went on for multiple months. There have been multiple hearings, and now the second trial, multiple months, multiple witnesses over the course of the last 2+ years. And you see these court officers, and they're very professional, very kind, very accommodating, good morning, have a nice weekend, so on and so forth. But in that moment when it's announced the jury has a verdict, you'll see 2 or 3 of those officers come behind your daughter and stand there. And their position is to be sure that if a guilty is announced, and it carries with it a likely imprisonment, that they're going to immediately cuff her.
Yeah.
And that idea of embracing her or holding her and being able to kiss her and
walk out with her
is gone.
Oh.
That is unnerving, and I've always felt that. And that's why we marshaled every resource we could, drained every account we could, galvanized every effort among women who really started a lot of this, because many of them have felt objectified, dehumanized, victimized, not respected, and have identified with Karen that grace, that fight, that resolve to not give up. And I tell you, if it had not been for them, they're in the thousands, and I've met many, I won't say I've met thousands, but I've met several hundred women at standouts outside of court, and I'll say to them, thank you so much. And I'll hear things, I wish I would have had a father like you, and I'll say to them, I'm sure you did. And they'll say, no, you didn't. I said, well, with all respect, the fact that you're here, there has to be some DNA imparted on you that came from him, so be proud of, your dad.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And I mean that, So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but we're grateful. Everything comes to an end.
I love
This
him. He's got a real good sense of humor. He really does.
Year is over, and so gratified and so fortunate we had this great team of lawyers.
Oh, yeah.
As you saw them, they're just so passionate, so smart, so dedicated, and have so much fight, so much resolve. We're very, very fortunate. And you know, when you think of the Sandra Birchmore case that happened in Norfolk County, investigated by some of the same who were part of the Karen Reed case.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, you know, deceive myself into thinking Karen Reed and Sandra Birchmore are two outliers on a data point curve, and that there are not others who have been victimized, but maybe haven't been as lucky and as blessed as we have to.
Maybe Brian Walsh. Remember, the lead investigator in Walsh's case was Proctor, former disgraced Massachusetts State Police Trooper Proctor.
Movement. And to have these attorneys so smart, so dedicated to fight for Karen's freedom. And
Karen's right there with them. She really is. She's so strong, and in many ways she's a leader of this movement as well. They see a bit of themselves in Karen, whether it be just their gender or what she's gone through. But, you know, the lawyers have talked about it, whether it be Alan, David, Bob, Liza, all of them have talked about how Karen is really an integral part of this defense team. And she was from the very beginning.
Have you talked to Karen today?
oh, sure.
Yeah, we were with her this morning, we were with her last night in the seaport,
Right.
and we talked to her a couple of times today.
How's she feeling?
Elated. She's just waking up today from a nightmare. She was telling us when she went back after court yesterday and after the verdicts and her freedom, and she went back to her hotel room where the entire defense team was staying and looked at her various attire, her suits that she wears, and she said, okay, the immediate thought was, what am I going to wear tomorrow? And it just hit her. Oh, there is no more tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Wow. Think about that. You've been doing something for so long. That just gives me chills, you guys. I have chills running up and down my body right now. Think about it. Karen is coming to her hotel room. She is looking in her closet. Oh, so what am I wearing to... Oh, wait, there is no court tomorrow. I'm a not guilty woman after today. What do I do? Do I just go back to my job? Go home? Forget about everything like it never existed? Like, how do you do that? Alan Jackson, in his interview with Turtle Boy, mentioned very aptly that Karen Reed had a massive crash. Last Saturday, he interviewed him. Alan Jackson was interviewed by Aidan Carney on his channel. And Alan made a very interesting point. He said, Karen is crashing right now. And that is normal. Imagine being, doing something consistently every day. And then one day you just wake up and it's done. And it's done. And it's a very high stress environment. Your life is on the line. Your freedom is on the line. People are lying about you. Prosecutors are trying to lock you up wrongfully for crime you did not commit. And suddenly one day you wake up and it's all over. How do you move on from that? That's wild. That's such a powerful image right there. The visual of her walking to her closet and saying, what am I wearing to... Oh, wait. Wow. Have you or someone you love been injured as a result of someone else's negligence? Or worse, lost a loved one because of it? I am attorney Larry Foreman, and myself and my team of trial lawyers are ready to help you to get the absolute maximum compensation permissible under the law. We know the system. We understand how to win. Anywhere in the United States, 24 hours a day. 1-844-774-HURT. Call us. We can help.
Oh, just so happy for her and so proud of her. And we're blessed. We're blessed that the good Lord has seen this to a justifiable end, for sure.
Nathan, I asked you this question earlier too. What's next for Karen? Maybe a book in the works, or what are we thinking here?
I don't know what she's going to do. I think a book is a possibility, about these experiences, her life, her story.
Got plenty to write about.
Yeah, and even before this, what she's done for a living and her health issues that she's had, those challenges make for quite a story. And then you add in, obviously, these legal issues and the family and everything. I think there's a book there somewhere down the road.
Do you think she'll stay in the area?
I don't know. That's up to her.
Yeah.
We'd love her, whatever she wants to do.
Yeah.
Whatever she wants to do. She wants to go to California, Florida, stay in New England, it's her call.
Go to Australia.
Travel, do something.
Yeah.
Right? I noticed, Bill, and really as I walked up here, it's all about getting back to normal. You guys are doing the yard work. You're working around the house. Is this the first time you've really been able to do these things?
Well, it's the first time this week, and it's the first time in the three and a half years, whether it be plowing this driveway or whether it be doing lawn work last year or spreading mulch. It's the first time I've done anything leisurely in 3.5 years where I haven't had in the recesses of my mind that threat that I could lose Karen. And that's very comforting. That's the power of Almighty God.
We talked about it just an hour or two ago. The difference feels like you can actually put your phone down today and not worry, is there, a concerning call or text coming through. And today feels, I don't want to speak for my father, but it feels like there's that relief there of, it's okay. If I missed the call, everything's probably okay.
Yeah. No parent, no loved one should experience what I've experienced, and my wife and my son here just should not. The justice system should be in place that at various levels there are gatekeepers who evaluate the evidence, who evaluate the strength or weaknesses of the case, and make an astute, informed, and proper decision.
Correct.
And when you think of what's happened in this case, the Department of Justice, federal government was involved, provided 3,000 plus pages. Also the ARCA, the scientists from Pittsburgh and Philadelphia area.
Wolf and Rentschler is who he's talking about, our crash daddies.
Who concluded, based on their independent study, that the injuries to John O'Keefe were not the result of being struck by that vehicle, nor was the damage to the vehicle the result of striking a 6'1", 216-pound individual. And then it was the Department of Justice that also provided you with the infamous Proctor text.
Yeah.
And then with all of that, they still go forward. And then on March 19th, 12 days before retrial 2 launches, they fire the lead detective. They fire me, the lead detective.
Yeah.
We still had to be put through the ringer.
Yep.
People may say it's absurd, it's scandalous.
It is.
In our position, it's frightful.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Truly.
And so nobody, and I would tell everyone who can watch this, take back your government. Get out there and vote. Do not be apathetic. Get out there.
And here's the sad part. Bev wasn't even voted in. Morrissey was, and he's going to be voted out come the end of the year. So 2026, Norfolk County is going to see a new DA. But Bev wasn't elected. Bev was appointed by Governor Deval, whatever. Yeah, with Morrissey's whisper. It is a very, very incestuous pool over there in Norfolk they got going on. Needs fixing. Dire need of fixing.
Make your vote count and hold your leaders accountable. And if you don't like what you see, hold them accountable by changing your vote and going elsewhere. But that's the power of America, the power of your vote. There are 800,000 people living in Norfolk County, the richest county in Massachusetts, by the way. And my understanding is only 70,000 of them, less than 10%, voted in the last election.
Wow.
So it's important. Get out there and take back, make your voices heard.
Those are very small numbers.
Good sentiment.
Yeah.
Anything
Less
else
than
that you guys
10%.
want to say that I have not asked?
I would say in regards to the supporters,
Yes.
they put us over the top. That level of support, what we heard in that courtroom yesterday, when you're in there, there's a 3 to 5 minute delay between what's said there and what's maybe coming through on the TV or on radio and what people are hearing outside on their phones. And when we heard not guilty and the crowd goes nuts, was palpable. It came through your body.
Yeah.
It was like
I remember that
Mick
moment.
Jagger or Taylor Swift came out on stage at Gillette.
Holy
The
crap.
place went nuts. I mean, Mass State Police told us as we were leaving there was better than 3,000 people outside.
Wow.
Supporters just lining the streets. Security everywhere. It's amazing. And that's because of Karen. That's because of her story. That's because of the team and her supporters. So a huge thank you to her supporters. And I know a ton of them come out of Rhode Island. We see it. We've seen it at standouts in Rhode Island. I work in Rhode Island. I see it constantly. So all around New England, all around the globe.
Yeah, to hear that applause and it reverberate through that courtroom, and everybody heard it.
You couldn't even hear anything. It was so loud out there. I remember watching the tape. Oh, it was so loud.
003. What say is the defendant at the bar leaving the scene after accident resulting in death? Is the defendant not guilty or guilty? So say you, Mr. Foreman. So say you all.
Listen to that uproar of the crowd. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that just absolutely mind-boggling that there were 3,000 people cheering for a not guilty verdict? Why? Because Karen Read could be any of us. Just like Fraser Baum could be any of us. That's the new case that we're covering on this channel with Ari Jacob. Hey, Ari, if you're watching this. 3,000 people, not guilty. Cheers. That is unprecedented. I don't think that has ever happened in the history of the United States or any jurisprudence that I can think of where there'd be so many people waiting for a verdict like they did in this case because of the level of corruption that Karen had to endure.
It's just for one of the few times over the last three plus years I was proud to be an American. I said, this is what it's about. And thank God I had them behind me. It was just, gave you goosebumps when it just riveted through the court, and it was unmistakable. And when we came out, all right, it was just,
over again.
Yeah, all
round
over
two.
again, yeah.
Alan Jackson said to us, he hugged us in another courtroom before we walked out, and he just looked at us and he went, I'll never forget that sound.
Yeah.
And we won't either.
Gives me chills as you're explaining it now.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys want to say?
Thanks for making the story part of your broadcasts, in your newscasts, and then I know you typically run some special focus of it in maybe the 7 o'clock hour with Gene Valicenti and Katie Benoit, so we appreciate that. The more people learn about it and then they do their own investigation, 90% come to the same conclusion. Karen Read
99
was and is factually innocent.
That's where you're wrong, Bill. 99% came to the conclusion that she's factually innocent. Good interview. And last but not least, I want to do another interview of Bill Read that was done moments after the verdict was read.
Feeling very elated, grateful to God for this ending. It's been a long 3.5 years. Long time coming, but while we've seen the in humanity over the last 3.5 years with the corruption, we've also seen the best in mankind, particularly the women. So many women out there, standouts at the courthouse over this week, in the hundreds. I know state police estimated there were about 3,000 people there today. And so many women identify with Karen because at some point in their lives, they have been objectified and dehumanized or victimized in some way or another. And with Karen, they see that strength and that courage to fight against the government that has, unlimited resources. And so it's been a great win for us. We've got, Karen's incredible fight, fortitude, strength, and willingness to persevere and not give in. And, she assembled a remarkable team of talented and passionate attorneys.
Oh, definitely.
David Yannetti was our first on board, then Alan Jackson and Liza Little from L.A., and more recently Bob Alessi. So we're just blessed to have this dream team of attorneys fighting for us.
I love Bill. He's so down to earth.
And I think a lot of that passion on their part, that expertise that was unshakable that they brought to the courtroom was because they knew Karen was factually innocent.
Yep.
And
exactly.
We're very fortunate. I mean, other folks who may find themselves in the throes of law enforcement and be factually innocent themselves, may not have that fortune or good blessing to have this type of attorneys and this part of, this immensity of support out there. Again, just the people who have turned out in support for us is just very gratifying and heartwarming. And at a time in my life over the last 3 years, I've lost a lot of respect for what goes on in some of these communities.
Not surprisingly. I mean, wouldn't you?
I'll leave it at that.
How has it been? You talked about the struggles. I'm sure it's been a very tough time. It's 4 years that you and Karen and the family have been fighting. How has it been to fight the accusations, to have to fight that, despite knowing what you and the family felt was true and the defense team? How has that been for you and the family?
What a terrible question. What you and the defense team felt was true. What about the rest of the world? 99.9% of the world. Some of these news anchors or interviewers are just horrible at asking the correct questions, but whatever.
The accusations really didn't trouble us. I drove that Karen's vehicle home that day. It was parked right here when it was seized by Michael Proctor, the now fired and disgraced Michael Proctor.
I love how he uses the same language that I've been using. You can tell he's been watching my channel, Bill. Fired and disgraced. Disgraced, fired. I've been using those two words religiously. I was not expecting him to say that. That is amazing. Because I know he watches my channel, and now I'm like, well, there's the evidence. This is awesome.
I know the condition of that taillight, and I know that the injuries to John O'Keefe, including those dog bites, were not the result of Karen Reed's vehicle backing into him. I drove it home in that snowstorm. So when you've got that belief and assurance that your loved one is factually innocent, then you've got to fight with everything you've got to see this through to a just ending. And there have been times it's very, very difficult because law enforcement and the government has unlimited resources through their ability to tax people.
Yep.
And
did it feel so? Are you saying did it feel to you like it was you against this entity that you guys were fighting, you and Karen and the family?
Well, there's no doubt about it. The law enforcement has power.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to put down that power. But I think so many folks saw this situation for what it was, a setup, a frame-up.
Yeah.
And push back. And when society pushes back, and you get courageous men and women who are willing to take a stand.
Oh, yes.
A case in point would be Officer Nick Barrows.
Yes.
Who,
yes.
Brought here on that Saturday.
Remember, Nick Barrows was the one who said he saw the taillight that day and it was intact, maybe a little crack. He said it during both trials. Only in the first trial, for some reason, the defense didn't cross-examine him because I guess they didn't see the significance of his testimony. And that is why in trial number 2, Barrows wasn't even called on to testify. Trial number 2, he was called on by the defense to testify. Think about that. That's crazy.
And testified in court that the condition of that taillight was not as what was shown to him in court.
Yep.
In the Sally Port of the Canton Police Department. So that's just one example. And you look at the Department of Justice was involved in this case from the early on. They were the ones who hired the ARCA scientists. And it was those scientists. It
was not the defense
that
initially.
The injuries to John O'Keefe were not the result of being struck by Karen Reed's vehicle.
Yep.
Or that Karen Reed's vehicle, the damage to it, was the product of being struck by a 216-pound, 6'1" man.
Yeah.
And yet, even with that type of strong, objective, independent evidence, and truly, they were hired by the Department of Defense, U.S. Attorney here in Massachusetts. They also provided us with the text
Yeah.
Michael Proctor.
Oh.
Without that, much of this
Texts.
might not have come to light. You know, I mean, the idea that he's been fired from the Massachusetts State Police, the lead detective on this case.
Yep.
Fired for his conduct, his bias
In this case.
specific case.
Yes.
You know, it's something. That's remarkable. So.
And yet the prosecution still moved forward, as he just said in the other interview, which happened the following day. I'm kind of doing him backwards, but whatever. You guys get the point.
Young people out there, and some, all right, we're so, you know, grateful to them all. Prayers, all right, from so many.
Yeah, this is amazing. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel.
What, in all these 4 years that you've been going through this ordeal, what has held your family together? Where has found? Obviously, Karen has had you as support, but how has the family come together? How hard has it been for the family?
Well, we're very mindful of our finite presence here on this earth. So, you know, we are churchgoers, we're Roman Catholics, we're believers in Jesus Christ, his mother, and we are dedicated followers of the church, and we pray daily. And if you don't have that, there's something that is very difficult then to come to grips with things. So
Sure.
we just continued to believe that God Almighty would see us through this. And
Faith can definitely do that. Faith carried them. Wow, that is beautiful. That is amazing.
he has, as you can see. I mean, this is a very glorious day for us in this family.
Overall, I know I spoke to your wife, Karen. How are you all feeling today after? Elated. I mean, for the last 3+ years I've been in this house, knowing the unlimited reach of the government.
Yeah.
And always you hear a door shut, right? You hear a horn. You go to your window because you never know, all right, the next step they're apt to
Oh
take.
God. Oh God. Think about it. I didn't even think about this. As they're living their daily lives, they're going through every tiny little thing is spooky. When you have a corrupt government with corrupt agents, corrupt law enforcement, a corrupt prosecutor, you don't know what their next move is going to be. They may show up at your doorstep and arrest you just because they can. I mean, it's like the Gestapo. It's like living in Germany in 1940 for 3 years for these. Wow. For Karen Reed's family. Oh my God. I didn't even think about this. Every day, they're on pins and needles, not just because of what could happen to Karen, what could happen to them. If the government is capable of trumping up charges like this, well, they can do anything to us too. Wow. That's a really good point. That is horrifying. I never thought about that before.
It's relief. It's
Relief.
finality to it all. And I
Yeah.
thank so many hundreds of thousands of
Well,
people
except for the civil case,
who have come and
which I'm
sent
going to be
prayers
following
for us,
closely.
sent us texts, letters, flowers. Just so gratified.
Oh, that's
Again, I've
awesome.
seen the worst in mankind over the last 3.5 years, but I've seen the best in humanity.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure. Today, Karen said, in one of the things she said is that no one has fought harder for justice for John than she has. Would you be able to comment on that, on what she feels at and how she's been fighting for
Isn't it obvious?
to find the real person
Hello?
Well,
responsible?
it's certainly not the task of this family, nor for Karen. I mean, for the idea that Karen fought back against these charges and fought vehemently and strongly, and we went into debt. She sold her house. She lost 2 jobs, Fidelity and at Bentley University, where she was an adjunct. Cashed out her 401. She fought to liberate herself, to free herself, and in so doing, freeing herself, essentially cast a light on, well, what happened then if it's not her? Don't forget, she's now been freed, all right? Even though the first trial, because the decision of the jury was not made public, twice she's been found not guilty of murder.
Yeah.
And so,
Twice.
these but these jurors had been at it for hours in their deliberations and weeks listening to testimony.
Yep.
And so, it's when she says she's fought for John O'Keefe, she's fought for her own freedom and getting back her name, and in so doing, it's opened up the eyes of those in the media and just casual observers.
Yeah.
Why is she fighting so hard? She could take a plea, but she refused to ever take a plea for something she did not do.
Of course.
Was there ever any doubt?
Never.
In the family?
Never. Never.
What a terrible question.
Karen would have been the first to say to me.
Terrible question.
And I was with her at that hospital in the morning. If she had done something wrong, she would have said, "Dad, I'll take my medicine." Never. There's never been any doubt. Karen Reed is factually innocent. All right, she was found not guilty, but I will tell you, she's factually innocent.
Correct.
Look at the body.
Yep. Look at the
Look
car.
at the wounds or lack of wounds, aside from the abrasions. All right.
Physics.
From an animal, from a dog to his right
Physics
arm,
wins.
and to the deep laceration.
Common
in the
sense and physics won the entire case.
back of his head. Look at there's nothing else. There's no bruises, broken bones, torn ligaments. If he was struck by a 6,000-pound SUV, which my daughter was driving,
Yeah.
you'd see something below the knees, in the torso, around
A
the
bruise, a broken bone,
chest. I mean,
something.
We're all reasonable people. Just
Yes.
look.
Yes. Just look.
look.
Yes.
You're out of Rhode Island, WJAR. You're former Rhode Island medical examiner, state medical examiner, Dr. Elizabeth La Posada, I hope I'm saying that correctly, came and testified.
Yeah.
She said those injuries were not consistent with getting hit by a car.
Yep.
So, it's when you look at the physics,
Even their
science,
own medical expert, like Maureen Hartnett and a couple others, said there is no consistency that John O'Keefe was hit by a car. Their own medical experts shot them in the foot. It was amazing.
is provided by ACA, and then you look at the medical testimony and the medical evidence, whether it be from Dr. Elizabeth Posada or from the state of Massachusetts' own medical examiner,
There it
Dr.
is.
Scotty Bello.
Yes.
She
Scortibello.
said, all right, that she could not conclude
Yes.
that he wasn't hit by a car. In
Yes.
other words, it's possible.
Their own expert.
And the abrasions to the arm. And so much so, she could not conclude the manner of death. She could not conclude it was
So
homicide.
good. Oh, this takes me back.
So, I mean, the
I think
evidence
I'm
is
having some Karen Reed withdrawals, you guys, since obviously it has been a couple of minutes since this video was recorded and released. It was right at the verdict, and I was traveling through Switzerland at the time, so I never got a chance to get around to it. That's why I'm getting around to it now. And I hope you guys are all enjoying the show. And don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. But I'm telling you guys, it's like, oh my God, I'm going all the way back to La Posada and Scortibello and all of that stuff. It's just so good how their own witnesses, they are like, I'm trying, Your Honor, I'm trying. And then Welcher, who, by the way, has a new photo on Aperture's website. Shannon Burgess is now missing from the Aperture website. So many updates. One of my favorite images, you guys, was this compilation that Kelly Reed did, whom I called Nathan's wife on accident, and I do apologize. My brain was probably somewhere else that day. Kelly Reed is Karen Reed's cousin and Nathan Reed's cousin. Okay? I'm sorry about that. I did not mean to create more. This case has enough incest, okay? It's enough of that. But yes, in this image, as you can see, Proctor fired, Buchanan disciplined, fired, Tolley disciplined, rehomed. What's his name? I can't. Dever on leave, Higgins desk duty, Brian Albert retired, Chloe missing. It's just they're all retired, disciplined, rehomed, or fired, or on leave. And just to see them all like that in one image is just so powerful. You know what I mean? Oh, it's disgusting, but it's something.
overwhelming, compelling. But still, it took us 3.5 years and 2 trials.
How, maybe last question for me, how is Karen feeling?
Elated.
What is the spirit? What is the spirit?
Elated. And also her attorneys. I mean, this was their fight too.
Yeah.
And the hours they put in. People see Bob Alessi or Alan Jackson doing a cross. That cross, all right, an order of proof has to be developed over several days.
Right.
You just can't go in cold. You have to develop that. And same thing with the summation. Alan Jackson's summation, which so many people remarked on.
So good.
All right, was just
amazing. It was
so
amazing.
So much on the point. I mean, hours. I know he went through.
Remember that moment where he says, "There was no collision. There was no collision. There was no collision."
The evidence in this case will establish above everything else 3 points. There was no collision with John O'Keefe. There was no collision. There was no collision.
Oh, magnificent. Absolutely magnificent.
To multiple iterations. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
Does the family want, because I know Karen says she wants justice for John, does the family want the case reopened to figure out what happened here?
We don't have that power to even, make that wish. We just don't. They have had the resources to look at this case over the last 3.5 years. Given they knew the evidence from ACA, they knew the evidence from the medical experts, they knew the public, all right, was upset. The public overwhelmingly upset about what was going on here. Well, they've always had the resources to look at it. So it's, what they choose to do, they'll do. And if they don't, it's now been 3.5 years. How much of that evidence has been destroyed?
Yep.
Who knows?
And that's exactly what they've been counting on, that the evidence will not survive the test of time. And by the time push came to shove, to try and figure out who the real killers are after Karen gets exonerated and walks away clean because she never did anything, what do you do now? Exactly.
Be something that she would advocate for?
We just want our lives back. She's got her life back. She's, as she made a
Can you blame her?
outside of the court today, I don't know if you were out there. It was incredible, wasn't it? By her fighting for her freedom, fighting for her factual innocence, through multiple hearings over the last 3.5 years, 2 trials.
Yeah.
That was her, if you will, her statement that not only am I factually innocent and I am being wrongfully accused and charged here, but other eyes need to be brought on this to look at this.
Yeah.
So,
Last question, I'll let you go because I know you guys covered a lot already. Getting her life back, what does that even look like now?
I don't think our lives will ever be the same.
Yeah.
This case started off, it was once a time we had trouble generating media interest in this, and now, it's become a national, if not international
It is
sensation.
international, Bill.
And why?
It's international.
Why? Is it because there's a Hollywood attorney involved?
No. Corruption.
A relatively young, successful woman?
No.
No, it's because of, all right, all of the dynamics associated with that.
The corruption.
What happened? All right, a cop lost his life, found on the lawn of another cop. All right, and you've seen much of the testimony, and then alleged cover-up, corruption.
Yep.
Has all of the facets for something that's so intriguing as well as alarming.
Yes.
So, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Oh, gosh. So good. I love listening to Bill speak. Well, folks, I appreciate you all coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed it. It is amazing and remarkable to watch Nathan and Bill, Karen, and everybody else move forward with their life, and Kelly. Now our eyes are all set on the civil case. I am and will continue being in contact with Damon Seligson. He has officially been entered as attorney of record, although he has been working on this case case for quite some time. He's now officially in the record on the Massachusetts website. If you have not seen his interview that I have done with him, by God, go check it out. Damon is a real mensch. He is a real one. And I'm looking forward to giving you guys updates on the civil case as they progress. I know there's been a notice of a motion to dismiss the civil case that has been sent to opposing counsel for the O'Keefe family. And yeah, we're just gonna see how this case progresses. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. And until then, I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.